So, this is where Susan decides to come in. And yes, I know, she's wearing a Wendy's uniform. Now, let me explain. The whole bit with Susan was supposed to be filmed around the same time as the rest of the footage. But the thing is, I forgot to do it, and I filmed all this right before I had to go to work. So when I got home from, well, actually, while I was at work, I realized, oh crap, I forgot to film all the bits with Susan. So when I came home, I didn't bother changing out of my uniform. I just took off the hat and name tag and just had Susan come in dressed up in a Wendy's uniform. So we are to assume that good old Susan, she works at Wendy's. And you probably also notice that the lighting is different. You'll notice when the crappy author makes her appearance later, you'll notice that the light isn't on, the shadows are different. But, oops, that was my own mistake.
Can't you see her? She's right there.
I mean, you don't really notice unless you're really, like, looking for mistakes, and I tend to make a lot of mistakes when I do these episodes.
Now she's walking towards you, and now she's standing right next to you. She's right.
I thought the dialogue here was quite interesting. That was great, I love that line.
You can't see her, Susan. Hello, I'm not nuts.
Now, I'm turning that way because it's supposed to be a deal that the crappy author is standing right in front of Susan, so if you guys could try to imagine, like, the crappy author grinning in front of her, try to picture that, but if I had better computer technology, I would probably have her be in front of Susan without Susan seeing her. I just love how I go on right here. Oh god, I just realized something. You can see the old TV that used to be in my room in the cellar. Oh well, I just noticed that now, but yeah, the old TV that used to be in my room before I got the big screen one, it's now in the cellar, and you can see it in this episode. Now, as you can see here, the lighting changes and the camera angle is different. You can actually see the string that is used to turn that light on. But you know, I couldn't film the bits with Susan with that light off because then it would be way too dark, because this was filmed during the day, and when I filmed the bits with Susan, it was night. This is a figment of my imagination? That's what I should have said. When my sister was watching this episode with me, she's like, oh, you should have had the FanFic Critic say, this is a figment of my imagination, kind of spoofing, you know, Muppet Treasure Island, when Gonzo says to Rizzo, oh, don't worry, it's just a figment of your imagination, and then it shows them tied up, and Rizzo's like, this is a figment of my imagination? That would have been great, but, you know, I didn't think of that at the time. Oh well.
I am not crazy. You're just playing with her mind and making her seem crazy, because I'm not crazy.
This is what you call denial, folks. Everyone's crazy. Everyone.
You're just toying with me.
I mean, if you think about it, everyone, if they can think back on one moment in their life, they'll realize that they did something crazy once, and they'll think, why did I do that? Everyone has those moments. So pretty much the FanFic Critic right here is coming to terms with the fact that she's nuts, arguing with the figment of her imagination, who supposedly managed to drug the cream soda, so I never really explained that. But I did in the original episode, but not really then too, but maybe we can just assume that I have relapsed memory? I don't know. It's not supposed to really make any sense, so just go with it.
Look insane to you, do I?
I might actually air the original episode on YouTube someday just to show you guys its crappiness, but I don't know when I'm going to do that, and maybe I'll have a commentary for that too. We'll see. And here's a very interesting part. Right here, the FanFic Critic meets the FanFic Critic from episode 1. My god, why did I think that outfit looked flattering on me? It looks awful. The jacket is way too small. The polo shirt, I actually wore different ones before I got the black jacket with the white shirt, which I need to get a new black jacket, by the way, because the stupid sleeve is ripped on the inside. Oy. And I can't really wear that white shirt out in public because after I bought it and tried it on at home, I realized it was slightly see-through. So wearing a black bra underneath it is not a good idea. Oh, the joys of being a woman.
You're serious.
You men are so lucky that you don't have to wear stuff like that. Getting off the topic of lingerie, let's get back to the review.
You're saying that
pretty much, FanFic Critic from episode 1 is saying to present FanFic Critic, "You are nuts!" And they pretty much get into a little argument about it, because the present FanFic Critic's like, "Oh, well, weren't you crazy too?" And the other one's like, "Oh, no, I'm not." Yeah, I actually watched some of episode 1 the other day, watching it with my friend, and there were some moments where I came across as a little, well, I wouldn't say nuts, maybe the whole razor thing, but it was appropriate for the episode. Me lashing out, attacking the screen with a razor. Yeah, that fanfic really bothered me. But you know what? Let's get off of that, because this isn't a commentary for episode 1, it's a commentary for episode 41. I might do a commentary for episode 1 eventually, but I'm not sure when that shall be.
I could have sworn I was a bit crazy in episode 1. I mean, hello, I attacked
So, this was quite interesting doing all this interacting, but it was fun. I think this was the best part, you know, kind of. Everyone has their moments where they're asking themselves questions and stuff, and kind of symbolizes that with the two critics
in episode 3
of what was and what's now. And trust me, some of the fanfics I've read do make you go kinda nuts. Those fanfics, oy. I have read good ones, and I have reviewed good ones, but some of them just makes you wonder what the heck were they thinking when they wrote this. So right here, the past fanfic critic is talking about why she's not crazy yet. And this one, the present one's coming to terms. And it's like, okay, I'll believe what you say, so can you help me? And probably the worst freeing ever. You don't even see, you just hear a sound effect. That was literally me going,
Wait, where are you going?
That was bad. If I had better computer technology, I could have made it more realistic, but
I mean, you're not insane, so you should be able to fight her.
not much you can do with Windows Movie Maker.
You're gonna have to be the one who fights her here. I have to do it? With what
So,
exactly?
pretty much right here, FanFic Critic learns that she has to fight the figment of her imagination. And this is probably the most interesting part ever. Beam me up, Scotty! Sorry for being random. Alright, well, the episode, or part 2 anyway, is coming to an end, so I hope you guys tune in for the third part of this lovely commentary. TTFN!